Good afternoon. This is John Courier, 50 years in the spray foam and coatings industry. When I retired from the spray foam committee chairman last year in 2024, I wrote a little recommendation to the equipment committee for things that I'd like to see taken forward and so forth. And I sent this to a dear friend of mine, Dudley, and he answered it. So the writing in red that you see is going to be Dudley's answering me back as we talk and go forward in a little back-to-back written document. So I'd like to read this to you because I think it's educational and some real information for you in the spray foam and coatings industry. So here we go. My 2024 retirement for John Courier from chairman of the equipment committee. It's been over 50 years for me in the industry, and I finally retired from the equipment committee chairman. Okay, Dudley in the red would say, you know, John, I have significant respect for you, and what I have learned from you over the years is invaluable. I truly value our business relationship with the friendship that we had over the years. I still recall the first time I met you back in Seattle at the airport. What a start, right? Your enthusiasm in driving the industry will never be matched by anyone else. It's truly a shame that the work ethic by many today is not the same as it used to be. But unfortunately, there comes a time to relax and enjoy the ride one had. That will happen for me one day, but like you, has been frustrating at times, but I enjoy the work, challenge, and it's still overall fun, especially when you help someone and see the light bulb come on. So while you may be retiring, you ain't going away, my friend, and you know what, John, you have made a mark, and people do know who you are. It's been a struggle to grow this EC size equipment committee. I was continuously trying to get more members and increase the variety of the group, more contractors and equipment specialists. But there, yes, since we are all volunteers here, it's not so easy at times to get the participation. As you may recall, we've had the same issue with PDA. It's not that some don't want to, they just don't have the time as out chasing that dollar. And many feel that what is in it for me attitude rather than seeing how it will benefit the industry and their work. Not sure how to fix that, John. Right now I'm building a battery operated generator. I have a prototype model working now. These could totally change how you power your equipment with less space, weight, much quieter, and 100% less cost to operate your present equipment. Right now, it's a hybrid, but a full battery system is in the works. Concentrating some energy to finish this project. When on batteries, it's environmentally friendly. I sincerely hope that the equipment committee could accomplish the goals that I have given to them. I need more time to work on my personal health, yes, and speed more time with the family relaxation. Thank you for putting up with my old quirks. And I have some outgoing proposals for you to think about also. Areas that I had great interest in and still think need to be worked on. Better control of heat products from the drum to the gun. Ooh. I.e. insulation. Insulate your equipment components. This is important. Whoops. This is important is to insulate your equipment components. We need to do this first. You need to insulate the long fluid hoses from the transfer pumps to the proportioner. It will pay for itself in many ways, and I mean many ways. Dudley said, yes, that is a valid suggestion. Could assemble as a tech update documents to improve efficiency, kind of like the document we did years ago at the PDA. Get steel springs that cause, also on that heat, I did write a technical document. It was called Tech Tip G10. So if you want to look it up, and if you're a SPFA member, you could get that document. Okay. Get steel springs that cause 100 pounds pressure loss on each pass out of our systems. Yes, I've recommended this. This is a 50-year-old desperate trouble that I've been from all of the manufacturers. They're out there still making 50-year-old technology preheaters, high heat draw, don't get a lot of delta T, high rise, and output. Terrible system. They have been for 50 years, and they still haven't improved them, and there's many improvements today that can be done. I will do it in one of my other documents later. Okay, John, while this may seem like a sound idea and valid, I feel it is more of an equipment manufacturer issue and not a task of the SPFA Equipment Committee. We could comment as a suggestion, maybe a document on improving efficiency. I have written that document and I will be sending it out. But to say that they need to change, well, not really our mission. Getting the fire rods out of the chemical is the best. Fire rods burn the chemicals and change the performance. This issue with this is the fire rod is that the people have allowed it to get air into the system. Why? Well, cavitating supply pumps, running it drum dry and so forth, such that there is no liquid present to offer the resistance. Again, this is more of the equipment manufacturer issue and proper training for applicators. Look at what Titan did with that heater system. Unfortunately, they are no longer in business with the Helix system. Okay, reduce the size of demands of our backup power equipment by reducing the size and amp load demands needed. Better control of heat and air use can accomplish most of this. The equipment manufacturers have not fixed the electrical load demands, nor have they attempted to insulate and control the heats. They have a long way to go on the air demands yet. Again, good suggestion, but this is an equipment manufacturer issue, not a much SPFA technical document issue. You must get the two temperature controlled before the proportioner to meter pumps to match the viscosity and flow and coefficient of friction. Then we can better proportion on ratio with a common drive system. Otherwise, you cannot control the ratio of the proportioner or meter. Okay, so have you seen the new Reactor 3 systems, which communicate with electric drum pumps to adjust speed, balance, flow, and medicine? This is, of course, also addresses your next comment on reducing air requirements. Reduce the air CFM as it is dirty, expensive, highly maintenance commodity, using hydraulic drum mixers and electric mixers and alternative driving of the transfer pumps if used and needed. Now, converting your backup generator for a friendly, smaller, quieter, less vibration, and less weight and expenses and more space in the rig. use a battery generated operator. Sorry, but not going to touch this one. While I feel that the environmental issues are important, I don't feel the battery mode is the best. I'm a chemist, but also have common sense when it comes to this issue with batteries, solar, and so forth. Why not go with hydrogen? Well, I have thought about that, but hydrogen is having a lot more problems getting the volume of water in the fuel tank that they need to make it keep going for a longer period of time. This, of course, is my opinion here, John. That's from Dudley. Now, there's a lot to do in the heat and control of our hoses yet. Lighter is not as insulated as well. Note, the internet wire heaters, internal wire heaters need to a big warning. Do not get any air bubble in the hoses or the wire can overheat and burn it in two. Yes, I will agree here. This is the same issue that can happen with the fire rod comment previously. All about better training and the contractors paying attention to what they are doing. Too many one-man shows out there, I agree. Continue to make our rigs safer and less chance of fire and how to put out. The C26 liquid no-mess fireball is a more economical solution to stop the fire before it gets too large or does not make a big powder mess. Yes, I still believe in the independent drive systems, better handling of the fluids, and easier testing. Less equipment problems. Whoops. Yeah, there it is. Sorry, I got goofed up a little bit. I still believe, I'll try this one more. Excuse my patience here. Okay, I still believe the independent drive says better handling of the fluids, easier testing and less equipment problems, and much simpler to troubleshoot. Transfer pumps are not needed, and these pumps are a big added maintenance failure to our systems. If I had the funds, could prove that we could put 2 spray guns on 1 independent drive meter. So, John, John, there are independent drive systems that are out there being used. Most in the U.S. are in OEM applications, not so much field work. But in Europe, you see more of this. Gamma Nova is big in this area. Not sure what has happened with accurate independent drive gear pumps, but Carlisle is sure making a push with this system. And while there have been a few issues along the way, many users of them will seem to be happy overall. Current equipment is getting way too electronic for operators to try to troubleshoot. One cannot keep going to finish a job because of the electronics if this is where the problem is. Our equipment companies need to come up with better ways of troubleshooting and manual override options so that you can override the problem and get running through a complete project. This is an added deterrent to my systems. Okay, let's go down here a little more. I will 100% agree with you that equipment is becoming too high-tech and making the applicators lazy. Let me turn this down here and get down here. I see this every day in various posts on Facebook. Okay, and then here we go. Why am I getting the E24? They don't know where to look, how to fix the address and address the issue. Why? Well, some equipment material supply people are simply supplying machines to anybody that with no training. One man shows thinking they will be millionaires by the end of the year, and training certification is not being required, enforced by the end user use customer. At least in Canada, they have Kafka to try and address the issue. This is the most frustrating part that anyone, my pet peeves, if you will. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, getting down here. We need to get those screens out of the gun, and they must be 40 mesh screens. When they burst and a gun destroys everything, I had designed and built years ago. Purge the mini strainer once a day and spray for weeks without taking the gun apart. So I preach daily to the use the proper screens, 40 mesh, yes. Just so you know, Graco is in their industrial plant division puts out the following chart rated to screen sizes and spray tip being used in airless sprayers. Now, these are not pro component, but with these big companies like this, one group does not communicate with the other group. Gamma, for example, supplies most of their spray guns with 40 mesh screens. Why? Because they learned the importance. Graco's a big company, machine, and it's hard to change the turning wheels, so to speak. Again, comes down to the education of applicators, equipment users, and support of the distributors. So there we go there. This shows the screen strainers there. And I can see here as we come up there. Now let me go on down to this next page. Okay, gun safety had been for years on my gun. I have had on my gun for years. All guns need to have an automatic, like a Glock, gun safety in the handle before it will spray. Make it a requirement. Whoops, sorry. Make it a requirement on all guns, not a manual, but also auto safety. Good idea, John. But that what will happen is that the new type safety will get covered with overspray and so forth, and will eventually be disabled by the applicator, or they will complain that the gun is not working properly. Don't really see this as a big issue per se. Proper training will handle this, okay? But it still can happen. Whoops. I have a little trouble trying to for now. Damn, it wants to. For now, the Institute, this web flute multimeter, training our PowerPoint training setup and the equipment maintenance training program. Write this training objectives from our PowerPoint and institute it. Everyone that works on a spray rig needs to have correct multimeter tester and know how to use a multimeter to troubleshoot. So I thought that the PowerPoint is well prepared and presented, and it comes down to proper training of the applicators. The reality is that most of these guys don't want to claim to have time to go training or been doing this for 20 years, and I know kind of the attitude when they really don't know. They are all out there to chase the money. Look how many applicators are just coming just to the Spray Foam Worldwide event, not staying for the complete SPFA show. Why? Unfortunately, they are more interested in party and what kind of freebies they're going to get. Sad but true. It's all about being committed and competent, like the paper I wrote for SPFA Foam magazine on this subject. I would like to see the equipment committee have monthly Zoom 1-hour meetings and keep the momentum going better. I still think that the committees could meet during spray foam and go over the past 50 years. The faculty has been too busy to want to have the meetings. Why should we should be able to have this non-sanctioned meetings or a committee meeting day for all committees at the spray foam conference. I agree here, John. We do this at the work with the AMPP, SSPC, NACE, as well as PDA, ACI, and so forth. So why can't we do it at spray foam? We need to be making equipment recommendations to the contractors in published bulletins and to have them contact the manufacturers to improve the components. And yes, I will agree to a point that making recommendations to improve the efficiency of our spray foam and polyurea work. However, we need to be very cautious here. As an inspector, the teacher at certified schools, one of the golden rules is to not modify equipment and add-ons from other supply sources outside the original equipment manufacturer. This is a no-no and will result in a written non-conformance document related to the project work. Of course, this is mainly industrial work where a proper specification is written. And I have in fact written these up before when on some projects. It all goes back to proper training. Okay? Now, whoops. As far as the processing materials, equipment use, the setup recommendations should come for the specific system supplier for their materials and not so much from just the equipment supplier. Remember how we used to do this at EnviroChem. More recently, I see the Proformans trying to employ the same. I am working with Doug on this, and well as Profoam's relationship with MCC, equipment distributor. And take, for example, the OBEC, a group of independent contractors. They are also doing the same related to equipment setups and use, all on the same page here. So this could be a new mission statement. This could be a new mission statement later, John. And thank you, Dudley, for controlling the center hub of our Pearl component wheel for these past 35 years. I'm John Currier. My web is ectech.com. I have both the rack gun and the my CDS equipment on it. My email to John PC or my cell 206-979-3533. Right now our landline is down because the phone lines have been cut by some militants. Anyway, thank you very much, everyone. Please sign up to be on my system, and please answer and contact me what you think. Thank you very much. Have a good day.